Today I'm going to show you the secret method to the cover art for A Love Letter to You 4. Now this method is literally hidden, like you really wouldn't see it. Like if you're looking at it you won't see it, but you will see this shit like everywhere once I show you guys exactly what it is. And I'm going to show you how you can actually implement it into any single cover art you make. Yeah, let's get straight into it. So this is the cover art I created using this method, and it looks pretty similar to A Love Letter to You 4. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a 3000 by 3000 pixel document, and we're gonna basically go up to view here, and we're gonna go to guides, we're gonna go to new guide layout, and then we're gonna make sure we have 3 by 3 preset on, so the third. And this is a pretty commonly used, you know, guide for cover arts and even just, you know, photographs. Now this isn't the method, but we can use this to kind of help us actually create a more visually appealing cover art. I'm going to be using this picture of Trippy Red right here. The reason for it is I just think it's a really cool, interesting picture. That's pretty much it. I just seen it, I was like, shit, let me use this. We're gonna go ahead and remove the background. Now the way we're gonna position it is gonna be a little bit, you know, weird. So I'm gonna just convert this bitch to a smart object, right? And we're gonna zoom this up. Where I want his eye to be is kind of like right here. The actual method, or the secret hidden method, is this spiral right here. I'll leave a link down below so you guys can download this shit, but pretty much it's called the Fibonacci spiral. And this is what I noticed inside of the actual Alti cover art. So if I grab the cover art here, we can use this and we can kind of see exactly where and how it's being used. So you can see like even just a point here, or if we put on the eye and we make it a little bit smaller, we can see the flow of the cover art going around, and it matches exactly with how the Fibonacci spiral is lined up. So that's kind of how we want to think about this. We want to make this flow around, and basically we want the most detail to be in this little box here, and then we wanted to spiral out and then get more general, and that's like kind of the whole idea of the Fibonacci spiral. Now how do we use this in a cover art? It's pretty simple, right? So you want to find like a focus point that you want to work with, or put in the middle, in that dead center. So we're gonna use his eye maybe, or we could use the, you can really mess around with it. We'll put it right there, and then we'll put the Fibonacci spiral like up here. And we want the most detail, so I mean we could do the tattoo, we could do something like that, and we'll put like right here, and it's kind of like on the bridge of the nose as well, so we can kind of see the spiral already happening here. It's going around, it hits the nose, and then it goes up around, and then boom, right? So we're gonna hide this for now, and we might just drag it over just a little bit, and we're gonna create a gradient background here. We're just gonna do something like this with the red over here and then the black. We're gonna create this kind of like composition here. So I'm gonna be going into my ultimate adjustment pack just to grab kind of like the adjustments here. So I'm gonna grab this 1300 Saint one, but I'm gonna get rid of the textures on it. I'm also gonna get rid of this overlay, and we're just gonna have it like this, like kind of like pretty clean. I'm gonna show you guys like the settings on these. So we have a curves right here. It's just a simple little curves, and then we also have a brightness contrast. We brought them up a little bit, and then exposure, just brought the offset up, and the gamma correction. It gives us this clean kind of like really like faded black look instead of like this. So it really just like brings out shadows, if that makes sense, right? We're gonna go ahead and pretty much remove like this part over here. Another thing to point out, or to know or understand, is you want to work with the elements of the picture. So because here he's smoking a blunt, I'm going to be using smoke to kind of use that kind of like Fibonacci spiral. Now if you were doing something else, maybe your character has a, or your subject has like a gun or anything like that, like you could use a laser where it goes like that. Or if it's like A Love Letter to You 4, it's kind of like all about emotions and, you know, tears, like so they use liquids, they use teardrops, like all that shit. Like you just have to kind of like feel the music, I guess, and kind of understand where, like what needs to be added and all that shit, right? But if you guys want this full PSD of this like final cover, I'm gonna leave it inside of my Discord. Make sure you guys do join up. Now the main thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add smoke kind of going around, I guess, and we're gonna try and make that we're pretty much gonna try and match it. So what I want to do is I want to have it kind of going around like here, so that's gonna be like the goal, I guess. So we'll flip it just so it kind of creates that shape, I guess, and we can shape it up a little bit more. We'll put this linear dodge, maybe we'll create a little layer mask. Just click this little button on the layer and then grab your brush tool, and then we can just go around kind of like this, just creating little erases, I guess. I'm gonna grab this one, have it like right there, and then we'll kind of just go around in this spiral, I guess. And I want to create a perspective here, so it's kind of like small here, so it's smaller up here, but then down here it gets like way like bigger, if that makes sense, right? And we want to keep that like general shape, so we're just gonna do it like this. And we can hit distort as well, just so we can have more control. And it kind of just create that like warped shape. Now I'm gonna hit Control T again, go into warp, and then we're just gonna warp it even more. Like so, like that. And then we're gonna put that linear dodge add, and then we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna pretty much just like use the layer mask, kind of just erase some things. We want to blur this out, use the iris blur, so go to blur gallery, iris blur, like this, and then we can kind of even put it like right here, just blur the shit out of it, or we could put it up here like so, and then we can bring this down just so this one's on top, right? So some shit like that, and then we can grab the bigger one, and these are actually I have these on top of the adjustments like a read. So we're gonna bring these down below the adjustments just so it looks better. Now we can actually like see this shit. Right, so that looks pretty good to me. I'm fucking with it. Now I do want his tattoos to pop out a little bit more. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna duplicate the layer, just hold Alt and then drag the layer up like so, just to duplicate it. Then we're gonna go to other. We're gonna go to high pass, put about 30 or however much it takes to make whatever thing you want to pop, and we're gonna put that linear light, and we're gonna remove this, and we're gonna go into it, we're gonna invert it, and then we'll just go over these, bring it down a little bit, and boom, now we have these popped out. Now I want to put black and white on him just for this logo right here, and we're gonna keep adding some smoke over, more realistic, just keep that shape going, I guess. Now I want to add some like blood onto him, so we're just gonna grab a blood brush right here, and this is also inside of my Discord if you guys do want to go ahead and check that shit out. But yeah, we're gonna make it red, then we're gonna go to multiply, so it gives us this like blended in kind of look. Then we're gonna hit Control U and just like to darken it a little bit just to get this like cleaner look. Then we're gonna blur it a little bit with like 6, bring the fill down a little bit, and then we want to get rid of this like part right here just so it's on its face only. And now we can pretty much just like blur it here now. So we're gonna grab the iris blur and we are going to blur this shit if it will extend. You just want to blur like here, keep this maybe, and then we want to blur like right here. Yeah, some shit like that. That's hard. I fuck with that. That's tough. You can kind of see like even with the really turds, like it's kind of like really perfectly kind of like split up here. Yeah, that's kind of like the whole, you know, hidden secret behind like Alt D4, and also just like you'll probably see this in other covers too. But if you guys did learn something or you did enjoy this motherfucking video, make sure you guys leave a like, subscribe, and yeah, peace.